Hello, I'm Ray. We're here in Hong Kong finally. Let's have a look at the Moto Z2 Play press event. This is it. Here we have the new Moto Z2 Play, live in the press event. With a Snapdragon 626 processor, 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, Dual SIM plus microSD expansion up to 2TB, and of course those motor mods. Not only have they launched a couple of new mods, but also made the new Z2 Play compatible with all the mods they've launched last year. This is a really respectable gesture that is worth our applause. Let's have a look at the new turbo power battery pack. Yep, it does support Moto's 15W fast charging technology, and with that whopping 3490 mAh battery squeezed inside, now your Z2 Play features a one-of-a-kind, almost 6500 mAh battery. Huge battery. Speaking of battery, the also new Moto style shell delivers 10W fast wireless charging. It is even faster than Samsung's 9W wireless charging on the latest S8, and all those amazing stuffs are hidden inside that adorable shell. Of course, there is a business black and low profile sleek option. The PSP-style Moto gamepad's also new, and if you are addicted to mobile gaming on a smartphone, then you will have to take a look. It's not available yet right now, but we can imagine how great would that be playing Dynasty Warriors on such a setup. But when it comes to my favorite Moto mods, here we have two. First of all, we have the Hasselblad True Zoom 10x optical zoom module. Just like any other Moto mods, the only thing we have to do in order to activate or pair up the camera with the phone is to line up those metal connection dots. Then boom, it will hold itself in place automatically with magnets. It's really sturdy, and it's handy, and turns your Z2 Play into a legit digital camera. The aperture, however, does shrinks from the not-so-wide f3.5 to the even smaller f6.5 at 10x zoom. It's not necessarily designed for low-light videography, but with that xenon flash, it did give me the feel of holding an actual camera with zoom lens. And finally, my absolute favorite, the new JBL Sound Boost 2. Yep, the second generation, with a sleeker design dominated by black. By the way, due to that noisy environment, I wasn't able to check out the sound quality in depth, but at a glance it delivers huge volume, with rich mids and lows. It's like unimaginable that such a thin and tiny module can deliver such a rich and loud music listening experience, which can even cover the background noise there. Alright, back on the Z2 Play itself. It's carried all the Moto goodies as usual, like all the gestures. The most used one though is definitely the double twisting camera launching shortcut. We can also switch between the two cameras with the same gesture. Speaking of the front camera though, it is a 5MP camera, but the dual-tone LED flash right next to it is an unexpected and welcomed upgrade for sure, from the monotone single flash on the first generation Moto Z. It certainly helps expose the object much better and capture far more details. And speaking of details, the 12MP dual pixels camera spec'd with an ultra-wide f1.7 aperture, and with pixels measured at 1.4 microns. The lower-end model G5 Plus has also got the same specs, but the Z2 Play also features laser and face detection autofocus. With full control over the camera via manual mode, the Z2 Play is expected to deliver top-notch image quality. In fact, image quality is decent, but not as sharp as those flagships, which cost over or about 700 quid. But you have to agree it gives some of the best low-light shots out of a mid to high-end phone, especially when it's compared to the C or A series from Samsung. Last but not least, again it packs a Snapdragon 626 processor with 4GB of RAM and 64GB of storage, with Android 7.1.1 preloaded. By the way, Moto's done a really great job in terms of software these few years. It is stock Android-like, but it's also features-packed. And all those great, or at least decent or satisfactory hardware, driving an incredibly light user interface on a 1080p AMOLED display, definitely more than enough for day-to-day media consumption. Stay tuned for the full review for the app's opening speed test. And while speaking of that 1080p display, it is an OLED screen, which means ultra-wide viewing angle, inky deep black, and crazy sharp colors. Wait, we really have to give Moto some applause for calibrating the display to the more natural side, rather than the super vivid, oversaturated, unreal side. Surprisingly. The question is, when we've got flagship killers like the OnePlus 5, which has got a similar price tag, but backed with way better hardware, is the Moto Z2 Play worth it? Stay tuned for the full review, with all the battery life test, speed test, and in-depth camera test. So that's it for today. Hope you all enjoyed watching this video. Like it if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe. There are also 2 more videos here for you to watch next. See you next time.